Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Good grief. Good grief. Hi, everybody.
Hey.
Hello. It is I, Ascella Vivace, Magical Idol, and I am here with Exception on my shoulder. Again, he's on the other shoulder this time.
Yeah, I know. We switched it up this time around.
I wanted to surprise you. I wanted to shake it up a little bit, you know. But hello. Sorry for the delay, guys. I was literally like... Return of Small Exception, for real. He's small.
Fun fact, I was, VCS had a little, like, art prompt where it's like, hey, draw your avatar, Sona, whatever, at, like, the canon size of your species. And I went down, like, a deep rabbit hole of trying to convert, like, file sizes to actual sizes.
You're silly.
And...
You're very silly, sir.
The math kind of got weird, but long story short, Moore's law suggests I am constantly shrinking, and also I'm like the size of one blood cell.
Oh, in that case, hold on. We got this. Hold on.
Now I qualify as both a computer virus and a regular virus.
Wait, hold on. This is hard.
Diabolical.
There we go. How's that? Is that better?
Fantastic.
Oh, sorry,
Increasingly canon.
You'll just get smaller as the stream goes on.
Just get smaller.
Is that like, are you like prohibitively tiny now? Like people can't even see you if they're on mobile? Like
I think it, because at least the color changes. You have me like darkened when unspeaking, so they'll notice me, I think.
That's true. Do you want me to turn the darken off? I can turn it off. Hold on.
It's up to you.
Oh, nobody's gonna be able to see you this whole stream. You're gonna find out that you're here like halfway through. This is what happens when I horse around right before the stream. So the reason we started a couple minutes late was because I was like, dang, I'm kind of still hungry. I want some more food. Okay, there we go. It's fixed. I was like, I'm gonna get some cereal because I was just like, cereal sounds kind of nice right now. So I went and I got the cereal and I sat down to eat the cereal and I was eating the cereal, just chit-chatting a little bit while the ads are running. And then suddenly I start panicking, and Exception probably thought I was going insane. But I realized that my computer was not on the Ethernet, it was on Wi-Fi. And so this is after I had to fix my multi-stream settings like 3-4 times to get it to stop eating all my system resources because it was trying to stream to like several channels at once when it only needed to be on one. And it had like several Twitch ones. I don't know what happened. Anyway, it was crazy. But yeah, I was on Wi-Fi. So if you saw the stream hiccup, no, you didn't. It's because I had to switch I had to reattach my Ethernet cable. It was not doing the do that it was supposed to do. It was extremely not connected somehow. I fixed it, but whoo! For those who don't know the deep Ascella lore, when I first started streaming, I streamed on Wi-Fi, and I did not know about dropped frames, or it's still dropping frames. I hate you. I didn't know about like dropped frames and bad connection and stuff like that. So it was very lucky that I recorded my streams and didn't rely on downloading the recording from Twitch, because it was a lot of problems. And I still think my internet is not great, actually. It still goes like occasionally yellow and red on the output, so I'm a little teeny minuscule bit concerned. I
don't blame you. Networking is spooky.
It's like I ask AT&T for so little, and therefore they deliver so little. That's how I see it. This is not a symbiotic relationship between me and AT&T. It's a parasitic relationship between AT&T and my wallet. See, like, we've dropped so many frames that, like, we're behind and chat is behind. Oh, I hate it. Yeah, trust issues with every ISP. It's frustrating. It's so frustrating. I'm, like, looking on the stream and watching it be behind, and I just don't like it. Okay, well, we just move on, I guess. We just deal with it, because there's no way to fix it. Unless everybody wants to, like, I don't know, try to refresh. Does that work? I don't know if that works.
I'll try.
It appears to, I'm gonna refresh too and see if that fixes it. Just on Twitch. Not on, OBS is fine, guys.
It's like a second and a half for me. Like, that's fine. That's good. That's quality.
Okay, that's fine.
That's fine.
That's fine, but I can
Twitch,
see in my little
good.
bitrate it just tanking at various points. So, y'all, I have been, like, for the last 2 weeks, just, like, one dropped frame away from calling AT&T and just being like, give me fiber, you cowards. I don't think we're wired for fiber out here, but, like, if we were, I don't know. I don't think they're, like, throttling me or anything. I just think they suck. A little bit. Sorry. I would love to be sponsored by AT&T and have a better connection, though. If
You gotta get a higher fiber cereal.
Higher fiber cereal? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. I was eating Cheerios with almond clusters. They were quite good. And a oat milk. Do you guys like oat milk?
I don't know much about cerealology.
Oh yeah? Are you like a one cereal
Is that a
kind of
high
person?
fiber? Is that a high fiber cereal?
I actually don't know. It's a delicious cereal and it has way more sugar than it sounds like it should have. I try to eat like plain Cheerios when I can because they have a little less sugar. So if I eat too much sugar at breakfast without enough protein to offset it, I crash really hard and I fall asleep. I just pass out. So soy milk, okay. Lark likes the soy milk. Also, hi Lark, hello. An oat enjoyer. I like soy milk. I like oat milk. I prefer oat milk a little bit as far as in drinks and stuff like that because I can't really taste it the way I can taste soy. Like soy milk has like a specific flavor for me sometimes. But I like my unsweetened light oat milk. I do. I also, if we're hashtag not sponsored again, I want to shout out ultra filtered milk, which is milk. It's like cow milk, right? But they process it a certain way that it has less lactose and like therefore less sugar, quite a bit less sugar, and it's very high in protein. And it is my second favorite milk after oat milk. It's quite good. It doesn't upset my tummy. It doesn't make me sleepy. It is very high in protein, so it's good for when you need quick protein and you don't have time to cook something. It's actually recommended to me by a nutritionist, and I turned it into a life hack by putting sugar-free, either sugar-free creamer or sugar-free like coffee flavoring in it, just like a dribble, like the tiniest amount, and then it makes it a little dessert that's not got as much sugar in it. It's kind of nice. Anyway, that's my hack. Hashtag not sponsored. Didn't even name a brand, but hashtag not sponsored. Milk's okay. I like milk with a purpose, like hot chocolate.
Milk with purpose is a really good slogan.
That's my like punk band name. It's milk with purpose. Wait, that sounds really bad if you think of it another way. So we're gonna never mind. We're just gonna ignore anything. Milk with purpose title.
Like I assume it's some sort of commentary about capitalism.
It is. It always is. All of it is.
Yeah, always.
F capitalism, for real, especially today. I had to make actual phone calls today, guys, to doctors' offices, so I'm like, nah. I blame capitalism for that, too. Actually, I should blame, like, my defective corporeal form for that, but, you know, I choose to blame capitalism. Well, maybe I should blame capitalism because part of it was dealing with insurance referrals, so. Oh boy, am I a mess, but that's okay. We're okay with being a mess around here. Like, it's okay. I can still be a lawyer, right? And Ace Attorney.
How much of a mess Renosuke is? He still manages.
God, he's such a mess.
Such a mess.
God, but he's cute. He's cute. Oh no, I clicked. Didn't mean to click, but I clicked.
It's okay, I forgive you.
I love him. I love the man. Wait. Do I load game? Load game. We're actually about to start another case.
Yeah.
We're gonna start with an investigation, it appears. We love that. Because we did manage to finish the trial, the first trial last time. We're on to case 2 now. Only case 2 is a flashback.
It is. We're going back to game 1. Welcome back to the Gray State Attorney Adventures.
Going back in time, and
Case 4.012.
Specifically that?
Yes.
Okay.
Approximately.
Approximately. Okay.
My math might be a little off.
I trust your math.
I didn't even math. It was a complete guess.
Shh. I trust your math.
Thank you.
But no, I am kind of excited to pop back over to some characters we're already familiar with. I am sorry that the insinuation is that Exception will be voice acting for his life again.
And I have to voice act based on voice acting I did for characters several months ago. I actually went back into the stream recording for case 4 to remember the voices, and very, very like, what's the word? Not premonition, but like, I'll find premonition-y. I said these words, quote verbatim, "Oh frick, I'm gonna have to make choices now that will ripple through history." Guess what? It's history time.
It's history time. You did that to yourself. But I admire that about you because you went back and you're trying to sound the same. Me, I just make shit up every week. I just YOLO real hard.
I mean, I tried that last time and I ended up making Mikoba sound basically like Gregson. So I need to rein that in.
Maybe he is Gregson, just in a different hat.
He could be Gregson. That like he puts on a hat, takes off the robe, puts on like a nice suit, basically becomes an Englishman.
Yeah, you got it.
No one would know the difference.
He studied over there, you know. He's got the language down.
He's like he's secretly the G. Lestrade the inspector.
Oh my god.
From the books, from the stories. Like he's just there the whole time.
Yeah. They weren't messing around with those books. You know what? I am so, please understand how much I am hoping that we actually get an answer to this whole Hound of the Baskervilles thing and that it comes up like soon, because it's been driving me crazy for months to have that like loose end just dangling. I'm like, Susato, what do you know? So, very much committed to this game telling me what I want to know. Which is not really so much of a commitment as an indictment.
Are turning.
I just so desperately want answers. Maybe it'll be in this one.
Find them.
Who knows? Who knows, guys?
Let's go find them.
Exception knows and is not telling me, but that's okay.
I do know. I will not tell you.
I like it that way. I like not being spoiled. It's fun. Do you guys understand how not spoiled I was for this game? Because, like, I was not spoiled for this game at all. like 0%. I was so just coming into it all sunshine and daisies, wide-eyed, brand new Ace Attorney. I mean, I've played the very first game, but like, you know what I mean? I had like hope in my heart, and then they dashed it because they immediately murder my favorite character in cold blood.
And dangle around his memory throughout the entire rest of the series.
God, especially toward the end there, they were like, hey, would you like Kazuma real quick? And I was like, no, actually.
This is the problem. It's every single main character's primary motivation. Like first with Rinosuke, now with Susata, they're both just like, we're Kazuming in his honor.
It's like, what is that trope where it's like the mentor, right? But then they die really early on. So like everything that is done from then on is like because of that mentor. That's like him.
Yeah. They Qui-Gon'd it.
Yeah. It's like that. It's kind of like that. God, but even less screen time. Gosh. I think like... Uh-oh, I lost my thought. I was starting to have a thought and starting to articulate it, and then it just went...
You really said I think like and then didn't think.
I thought too hard. I thought myself right back around to not thinking. Damn, we love being neurospicy. We love to see it. We love to see the brain just stop working in its tracks. Well, I was gonna say something about like... Oh, God, I can't remember. You know, it'll come to me like halfway through, so I'll just scream and like interject in the middle of the trial or whatever my findings, and then you'll be like, "What are you talking about?" Yeah, you can shout, hold it,
and then you can.
Oh my God, I can. Although I will say, you guys, so something delightful happened. A streamer that I like, who happens to not so secretly have been a lawyer in his past life, and I don't mean his VTuber past life. I mean like literally he literally was an attorney before he was a VTuber. He did a stream the other day that was like a very silly and oversimplified reading of a court case. And he made because it was a court case, of course he had to make some Ace Attorney jokes. So he made like a thing for every time he presented like evidence or whatever in the case reading that was like, take a look at this, but it looked like the objection and the hold it and stuff. Oh, it was so funny. God, I love that man. Bless. The man ever. I love being able to be a nerd too. It made me really like, it was like the nerdiest stream for me because I actually understood what they were talking about because it happened to be dealing with real estate adjacent stuff, which I know some things about because of my not so secret day job. I mean, it's not a secret that I have a day job. Not that my day job's origins are not secret. But anyway, it was like really a just delight from end to end. And the stream was like 45 minutes long and he was like, I don't know why this is so short. I was like, damn, I've been there, dude. It's gonna be me on my debut. But speaking of, hold on. Can I say one more thing before we start? I'm sorry, I'm just talking so much today.
I'm just soaking it all in. You're having a blast.
I am having a blast because this actually involves you a little bit, right? It does. Because, guys, so I've been having some trouble. I know I've said this like offhandedly that my Live 2D art and rigging are finally done. But I was having some trouble with the model, and it took like literally over a month for me and my rigger to have time to like sit down and try to figure out what was going on with it. Y'all, it was my settings in VTube Studio. I fixed it. It's beautiful. It's awesome. It looks amazing. Like, truly, I am beautiful. And I am in talks with when is the drop as soon as the last thing is done, which is going to require 3 commissions. But one of them is getting done this weekend, and then the next step should be done within the next couple of weeks, and then the next step should be done a couple of weeks after that. And then the next step will take, I don't know how long, because I don't know how long it takes to make an MV, but I'm looking, if anybody knows anybody that does good cover MVs, you should wink wonk, let me know who you work with, because I would like to have one for my debut wink wonk. Pretend like I did not tell you that there was a cover, right? Okay, pretend later that I did not tell you. But anyway, that's all that's left. I gotta make a graphic, like a model reveal graphic, but that's about it. Everything else is like gonna be in other people's hands after this weekend. So I'm very excited. I know I don't sound excited right now, but like it's been such a process. It's taken 2 years. Like, please just, it's taken 2 entire years to get this far. So that's the good news. That's the good news, is that it will be soon. Soon. I'm hoping March is what I'm hoping for. We will see what happens. But yeah, I am hoping for March. Okay. All right. So that's that. Ow. Hold on. Ow. Okay, cool. Popped my back. Feeling good. Feeling good. Feeling good. Episode 2, huh? The memoirs of the clouded Kokoro. Memoirs. It's not even an adventure this time. It's a flashback, and they don't want you to forget that. I wonder why they decided to do a flashback. Interesting.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
This is a little behind the scenes. I believe, as I understand it, and I could be misinterpreting what, like, fractional knowledge I know, the game was originally supposed to be one game. The 2 games were one. It was just like one huge game.
Right.
But due to budget, scheduling, structure, scheduling, and budget, they split it into 2 games.
Right.
So what we're about to watch could theoretically be considered like some weird bonus act, the second half of the original 4th case.
Okay.
But like they reconfigured it into its own case so that it's not weird and an actual sequel where you understand everything already.
I see. Okay. That makes sense. It's an interesting way to approach it. I do believe that is an interesting way to approach it. So, cool. Makes sense, actually. All right. Then let's jump right in, shall we? Oh, the return of Ryunosuke. Are we ready? Are we ready? I'm so ready. Here we go. Start playing from the saved game data. Sure. Loading.
It begins.
It begins. I'm sorry about the dropped frames, guys. They keep happening. Just a couple.
And just like that, it began.
It did. What do we get? What do we get? Do we get a video? We get a video.
It was a ghastly tale of a winter's night. One of an invisible killer and a crime perpetrated on the pavement along Briar Road. As the victim lay at death's door, the mystery of just who had stabbed the young lady from behind had been resolved. But no sooner had my friend saved that Eastern Exchange student from his harrowing plight, than in the dim, flickering shadows of gaslight did a second bizarre crime rend the stillness of that very night.
Can we quit stabbing people?
I dare say most can still recall the sensational headlines of the day. Haunted apartment of death. the condemned criminal's curse, the dread demon of coal gas. Yet, though the great detective had at once discerned the truth upon his arrival at the scene, it only proved to be the overture that announced the rising of the curtain on a most tragic play.
Are we about to actually have something to do with those two NPCs from the first game? Oh! Hello. There goes our music. We're back. We're so back. We're so back.
We're back.
We're so back. My name is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. I'm a fledgling lawyer just starting out on my journey. 6 months ago, I arrived as a visiting student of law. Having made the long voyage across the sea from the Empire of Japan to here, London, England. And on the way, in quite extraordinary circumstances, I made the acquaintance of a world-famous detective. And now I'm living in his attic. I wrote this one, sorry. Currently, I reside in the attic of the detective's own lodgings, from where I run my legal consultancy of sorts. I've successfully defended a number of clients in Britain's highest court, the Old Bailey. But since a particularly grueling and unforgettable legal battle 4 months ago now, I haven't returned to the courtroom. In truth, I lost my right to return. Ooh. But that epic trial was just one small part of an epic tale. A tale which was now about to awaken from slumber. Thanks to a letter that arrived this morning from my homeland. Oh no, we're starving to death. Oh god, feed this man.
Give them some cereal.
Feed him! Feed him cereal. We love cereal. Oh no. What a delicious smell wafting up the stairs. It must be nearly time for breakfast. I better go down to Mr. Sholmes' suite and say good morning to the great detective and his flatmate.
Yeah, the finale of last game did involve Ryunosuke getting canceled.
Getting canceled? Yeah, about that. Just because other people lied.
Just because other people lied, just because he was threatening to reveal national secrets.
Oops. Oops.
It happens.
It does happen!
It happened right then.
Oops. Oops, all these national secrets just fell out of my coat. Onto the floor at the Old Bailey.
Imagine if during the exchange that Eggert did, he just dropped the disc and it rolled out in front and everyone just stared at it.
Like, there it is. It's there. God.
Great Ace Attorney Case 5, giant book. Great Ace Attorney Case 5 if Eggert was slightly clumsy. Tiny book.
Tiny book. Oh god, no, I have to be Iris with my voice still strained. Here we go. Dread in my heart. Dread in my heart. 1 second. Alright, here we go. Okay, sorry, my things were kind of not quite in the right place. Alright. Ah, Runo, good! I was just about to call up to you. The bacon's ready. Oh my god. Feeding this man bacon.
Bacon.
Good morning, Iris. It smells delicious as usual. Before we eat, though, I have some news.
Shh! Not another word, Mr. Naruhodo.
I see.
This could be just the abstruse thing for my pre-breakfast stagnation repelling mental stimulation, my dear fellow.
Oh god. Morning to you too, Mr. Sholmes.
Ah, yes, I see. So that's it.
Get out of my face. I need to count your pores.
The truth is as clear to me as day. My faculties of observation have revealed it again.
Uh-huh. Oh, what are you talking about?
You, Mr. Naruhodo, you have this very morning met with a surprise.
Yeah, it's called your face being up in my face. We're not even married, dude. Back off.
Well, is that not the case? Really, my dear fellow, it barely wants explanation.
Please.
Firstly, your hair is particularly unkempt, somewhat reminiscent of a bird's nest.
Okay, rude. First of all, rude.
Secondly, you have neglected to fasten the third button of your jacket.
Okay, I thank you for letting me know.
Informative. Clearly, when considered together, these two facts point to you having been flustered this morning.
Or just not awake yet. Can I talk now? Just don't even let him get a word in.
It's been 6 months. He is so used to his
so
nonsense
done.
at this point. But of course, though I don't look for admiration, you understand.
Oh my god, this man. My hair always looks like this. It's been this way since I first met you. L plus hair unkempt plus your shirts unbuttoned. Shut up, oh my god. Oh, Teratio Herlock Sholmes.
Oh, it has?
And the button was ripped off last night, if you remember. By you. Excuse me? Excuse me? Hold on, we can stop this right here and just go to AO3. Hold on. We can just stop this right here. Woo! Okay, but wait, children are present. My bad, children are present. Hello, Ashton! What's up? Hello,
Hey.
Raiders! Welcome in. We are Ace Attorneying.
Just in time.
Welcome. We just got started with Case 2. How are you? How was your crafting? I saw you were doing cosplay stuff. Where? We were just writing fanfic about Hurley.
Well, no, it's writing itself.
Yeah,
here.
it is writing itself. Ryunosuke and Hurley are just, you know, 5 feet apart in the hot tub. Ah, never not funny. You got a lot done though. That's good. That's good. I'm glad. I'm happy for you. Let me give you a shout out. Hold on. Woo. You've got like an event coming up you're getting ready for, right? I need to sew desperately. I desperately need to sew for a freaking like November deadline. 2! Good grief.
That's a lot.
It's a lot of conventioning. Or maybe just eventing. Maybe they're just events. I technically have a con I might go to this weekend, but probably not. Maybe, but probably not. It's that I don't want to spend the money, let's be real. And I'll be mostly busy. This weekend is event, next weekend is con. Ah, okay. Well, I hope you have fun. I'm sure you will look wonderful. Beautiful, even. What did my grandmother used to say? Beautimus. That's what she used to say. What she used to call people. Gotta grab dinner. No worries. Enjoy your lurking. We're gonna be voice acting all of as far as we can get through Case 2. So here we go.
You bet.
Everybody beware any spoilers if you haven't finished the first game of Great Ace Attorney, because this is the second game. Alright, and I am Ascella. Hi. I'm Ascella Vivace, Magical Idol, and I'm here with Exception, and we are reading of the Great Ace Attorney 2. Anyway, back to AO3. Hurley pulled your button off? Even Iris is a little Fujo. It's fine. She's just like, and they held hands.
Ah, yes, I recall the incident now. It was after supper, was it not?
Oh, great. Setup. Okay.
As the evening advanced, I picked up my violin and began to play the wailing notes of a haunting tune.
Really? A haunting tune?
But then, to my utter dismay, the third string snapped. Why did it have to happen? Why?
He has a lot of problems with this violin.
Yeah.
He has a lot of problems with this violin.
Little wonder then that in my vexation, I grabbed the first button I saw and ripped it from its proper place.
I'm sorry, you just grabbed somebody's shirt? Well, I'd like it back now, please. It's troubling me that I can't fasten my jacket.
And it's troubling me that you expect me to know where it is. Somewhere thereabouts on the floor, one presumes.
Swear to God, this man. He is, you know what he is? He's a freaking orange cat. This man is an orange cat, and he occasionally has the brain cell. But we have to help him with it. Exactly. Helpful. Helpful.
What matters at the present time, my dear fellow, is simply whether or not my deduction was unerring.
I want to tell you you're wrong, actually, but I don't get to.
It would be a lot more impressive to people if he did not show his work, because that's usually where it falls apart.
Yeah, like, you don't have to show us how you got there. Just give us the answer. But Hurley, Runo said it when he came in, didn't he? I had a surprise this morning. Thank you, Iris. Iris is on our side. Just dots. Just dots from the man.
Well, that really is a surprise.
I cannot with you. Yes, this man is the pride of the British Empire. The famous consulting detective, Mr. Sherlock Sholmes.
Oh, they're so proud of him.
There can't be a single person in the world who doesn't know his name. You didn't know his name before you got there? But that's okay.
Yeah, that was 6 months ago. He's gotten more famous.
Oh, sure. Okay. It's because of Iris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All our books.
It's the books. All right, then. Enough of this silly conversation. Come and eat this bacon before it goes cold. Yeah, cold bacon is not very good, actually. And I have a new herbal tea for you to try, too. My latest special blend. And here we have Iris Wilson, Mr. Sholmes' lodger and companion. A truly exceptional young girl who's the author of a highly successful serialization here in London. Yes, The Adventures of Sherlock Sholmes, as published in Ranced magazine.
So, Mr. Naruhodo, won't you put us out of our misery?
Oh, yeah.
What surprises you this fine morning?
I'll put you out of your misery, sure. Just take a few steps backwards and let me shove you into the fire. It's fine. As we all know, I have a love-hate relationship with Sholmes. What I feel about him varies from moment to moment.
Yep.
Well, I received a letter from Japan. Oh, from Susie, you mean? Was it? Really? That's right. And she had some rather startling news, in fact.
Intriguing indeed.
I double dog dare you to try to deduce what it is, Sholmes.
You must tell us about it over breakfast.
Wow, he didn't try to deduce it. I'm proud of him. Oh yes, what fun! I doubt it's fun. Knowing what I know, I doubt that it is fun. Hold on. Can we move yet? I see. Okay. What if I present something? Can we examine the room? Anything fun to see in here? Oh, lots to see. When it gets to this time of year, Londoners seem to leave their hearths alight all day long. And I love it, because it's warm. There's something very relaxing about watching the flames flit and dance about.
The fireplace in days of summertime is a waste of space. Really, no use at all.
In orange for no reason. rather like a great detective in days of no crimes and no criminals. Hurley?
But consider this. Instead of a fireplace, a frost place. That's my latest idea.
Okay.
An extraordinary hearth from which emanates a cool breeze in the hot summer months. What do you think?
How? I think if you invented such a thing, your name would go down in history. Congratulations. Make the
The principle is extremely simple. One must, of course, light a cold fire in the hearth.
Okay, you know what? He's back to not having the brain cell. It's fine. Yes, of course! Brilliant!
Trouble is, none of the fires I build ever burn cold. How it taunts me.
So, as you British say, it's a bit of a damp squib. What a way to go. I just want to look at all the goodies in his room. These are different pieces of evidence from cases you've solved, aren't they, Mr. Sholmes? I know you guys are sick of me looking around, but we do it every time.
Not quite, Mr. Naruto, not quite.
Not quite? Okay.
These trinkets are a selection from cases I've solved with particular aplomb.
Good grief.
They are souvenirs of my success. Memories, Mr. Naruto, memories.
Really? So tell me about the case in which the bust of Napoleon featured.
I forget.
Sir! Memories, he says. Wonderful, Mr. Sholmes, wonderful. This man is gonna be the death of me. It's the big trunk, the trunk. Ah yes, the huge metal chest with the lace cloth laid on it being used as a table for tea and coffee. It's very sturdy, that's for sure, and firmly locked shut. That chest contains my father's detailed records of Hurley's many cases. Yes, so I've been led to believe. Though personally, I've never actually seen inside. And that's the way it'll stay. Those papers are a secret between Daddy and me. If you go opening it uninvited, you might find yourself being bitten. It's a mimic. What, is there a beast inside there or something? Maybe a hound? What? What? Okay, we've looked at the fireplace. Oh, I see a globe. Books, papers, scientific implements. These shelves are stuffed to the gunnels. What?
Fancy.
Fancy. Miss Susato wouldn't be able to help herself if she were here. She can't stand mess. Susie might not be able to stand a mess, but she wouldn't dare touch those shelves. Oh, why not? Everything's in intricate balance. Hurley spends ages on it. If you were to touch even one thing, the whole lot would come tumbling down. Huh. Susie noticed it was a very delicate arrangement right from the outset. You make it sound like a meeting of great minds. But the truth is, Mr. Sholmes just needs to tidy up. Come at me, bro.
Figured out what a
Bro.
gunnel is.
What is a gunnel?
Apparently, it's the topmost layer of wood on a boat.
Oh.
So if you completely fill up a boat, you filled it to the gunnels. Pretty much.
Ah. Well, now we know. The violin in question. Ah, yes, Mr. Sholmes' faithful musical companion. Wasn't this violin made by somebody famous? Yes, it's a Stradivarius. Although I'm afraid you'd have to save up for 100 years before you could afford one, Runo. But didn't you buy it for a song, Mr. Sholmes?
Found it at a pawnbrokery among the forfeited articles. It clearly said Stradivarius on the label.
What?
The ignorant broker had no idea of its true value, you see. So I paid a mere 55 shillings for it. Yes, I have something of a turn for shopping. Herlock Sholmes, bargain hunter.
He shops at Aldi, guys. He shops at Aldi. And we just give him dots. But is it really a Stradivarius then?
But of course, my dear fellow. It said so on the label.
Oh god, he doesn't have the brain cell again! I think perhaps the ignorant broker had something of a turn for selling. Equipment. That machine really is imposing, isn't it? But I can never remember its name. Uh-oh. Hurley calls it his great analytoscope. It can analyze anything at all. That doesn't really help me. What does analyzing something even mean?
An extremely astute question, Mr. Naruhodo.
Sorry?
Well, as Iris said, my machine here spits out analysis results of anything with which you care to present it. But how to interpret those results, that's the key. And I confess I have no idea.
Where did you get this? Huh.
Clearly, I'm going to have to construct a great analytoscope to solve the problem.
I swear. That might not help. God. Let this be it's a mess. Alright, alright, alright. Go the other way. Go the other way. Just look at Iris's side of the room.
The Iris Corner.
There are so many different bottles up there on that charming little set of white shelves. Oh, do be careful, Runo. You mustn't try the contents of any of those bottles, even if you're hungry. I wouldn't do something stupid like that. I'm not a child, you know. Well, I wish I could say the same for Hurley. The other day, he polished off a full bottle of one of my alkaloids. He what? He said he was hungry. I'll be extra careful. That's hilarious, actually. Ah yes, this is where you note down ideas, isn't it, Iris? What's in the melting pot today? The blue carbuncle. Yes, it's from a case of theft that Hurley solved ages ago. The theft of a precious stone. A carbuncle is another name for a garnet, you see, especially if it's cut with a rounded top. I didn't actually know that. Oh, really? And this garnet was blue, was it? Well, that's the thing. They're usually red. No blue garnets have ever been discovered. Oh. So who knows what the stolen gemstone actually was? That's the real mystery of the case. A proper Herlock Sholmes conundrum, huh? Cute. Cute. Oh, tea! I look forward to finding out what aroma your tea will have, Iris. Every single day. Ah, well, I infuse a different concoction of herbs from the garden every time. So it's never the same twice. When you call it a concoction, it sounds more like a science experiment than something for tea time. Oh yes! That's because different blends can have very different properties. Some calm you down, some make you feel jolly, some give you energy. Today's particular blend is something quite special, so you're really in for a treat. That sounds ominous. Does sound kind of ominous, actually. Alright, over to the typewriter. I can type with my eyes shut, you know. I can't type with my eyes shut. Yeah, I can't do that. They tried to teach me that in school, and I said, chicken, peck, or die. I can believe it. When a deadline's approaching, you sound like a Gatling gun.
You know what that sounds like, do you, Rinosuke?
I know, right? Why do you know that? That reminds me of a dream I had the other day. It was such a funny one. It woke me, actually. I was typing for a whole hour in the pitch black, but I didn't make a single mistake. That's incredible. But then, when it got light, I found that there wasn't any paper in the machine. Now I wonder if I'd actually been typing at all. I think you might just have fallen asleep on the job. Alright, that's probably everything over here. Alright, we can now go back and converse.
Yay!
We've done the preliminary asking of the things. Let's talk about Susato's letter.
Yeehaw.
This is the letter that arrived from Japan this morning by international post. Oh, how lovely! Look at Susie's beautiful writing. I wish I could read it.
And how is your judicial assistant faring, may I ask?
Well, I'm glad you asked, sir. She's very well, thank you. In fact, according to what she's written, she actually appeared as a lawyer at the Japanese Supreme Court and won a case. Ah, really? Oh, isn't she wonderful?
A cut above your good self, my dear fellow.
Sholmes, how do I tell you that I've done that before? Yeah, I've won cases too, you know. Apparently, Mr. Natsume appeared in the trial as a witness.
Natsume. No, I don't recall that name.
Oh, you're bad at this, Sholmes. Of course you do. We helped the man twice. You know, in those two cases that took place on Briar Road 6 months ago.
Ah, the mustache-twitchy man with the somewhat feline eyes and the mustache?
He didn't have two mustaches, Hurley.
Yes, who could forget those two cases? They made a very deep impression on me.
Did they?
Although I must confess the details are a little hazy now.
He's bad at this. Oh, ad break. Ads. We're in an ad. What interesting trivia have we got today for the farm? The farm.
Well, I haven't prepared anything particularly
Yeah,
special.
No preparation.
I'm not good at preparing.
That's okay.
I didn't prepare well enough. But,
Uh-huh.
I mean, I just sort of investigated. Blue Carbuncle, real story by
Uh-huh.
Holmes.
Yeah.
Holmes.
Holmes, yeah.
Classic times.
Yeah. I love, like, all of the improbable things that happen in the Sherlock Holmes stories. Like, it'll, like, a blue garnet, you know? It's like, oh. That's impossible.
Blue now.
But it's not impossible for Sherlock Holmes. Or in this case, Herlock Sholmes. He's a stand-up guy, and he's gonna track down your missing gemstones. Yep. Track them down. What's your favorite gemstone? It's a weird question. Hear me out.
Okay, so I'm not sure what the definition, like, difference between a gemstone and a rock is.
Okay.
So I can't really... I might just say a boulder.
A boulder?
Of some kind, and I'm
Is it a
worried.
large boulder the size of a small boulder? Is that your favorite rock? Everybody
no.
loves a good large boulder the size of a small boulder.
I don't want to commit to a favorite gemstone, but I will commit to a favorite rock that might also technically be a gemstone.
Okay.
I'm a fan of obsidian.
Ah, obsidian's nice.
I like how it's like smooth and shiny and sharp at the same time.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good. It's got interesting properties, and it looks pretty when you hold it up to the light. Do I have a favorite gemstone? maybe Sapphire? Maybe if I'm like forced to choose. I know I put a question on you. I didn't want to answer myself. How do you like that? I like blue. Like blue's my favorite color, right?
Also like blue.
But Sapphire is just like the perfect shade of blue, and it makes, I don't know, it makes my heart happy, and it goes with everything. It goes with everything, so it's very nice. I should have like a personal vendetta against sapphires for reasons, but I don't. I think they're still nice. Good for me. Okay, we're back. Yay. Welcome back, everyone. A very deep impression they made on you. Clearly. Okay, Starling News. What's the news
For
in
the
letter?
plot. Time for the plot. Oh, what was this startling news penned by Miss Susato?
Other than her being in a court case? Do you remember the case of the haunted lodgings, Mr. Sholmes?
Ah, yes, it's very interesting, you know.
You don't remember a damn thing.
I don't feel entirely uncertain that a case of that nature did not occur.
He doesn't remember a damn thing. I swear to God. He's totally forgotten then. Anyway, in her letter, Miss Susato asks that we read over her case notes again and investigate further.
Though it took place half a year ago, for what purpose?
Because of something that Mr. Natsume said to her, apparently. He suggested that the real reason why she was called back to Japan so suddenly might have something to do with that case of the haunted lodgings.
Oh?
Oh, his interest is piqued. Here we go. On Mr. Natsume's return to Japan, Miss Susato's father questioned him about the case, she says. And something Mr. Natsume said appeared to trouble Professor Mikotoba, prompting him to send that telegram. Oh, that case, yes! It was very strange, wasn't it? Yes. And I had compiled the whole story into a nice, neat manuscript ready for publication, too. But then Hurley here was all funny about it, remember? He was very mean. That story must not be published, you said. Very mysteriously as well.
Really? I said that? Are you sure?
You son of a... Do you perhaps know something about it as well, Mr. Sholmes? About why Miss Susato was suddenly told 4 months... The typo?
Oh!
4 months ago that she had to return to Japan. I read it, and then I reread it, and then I went, that says mouths.
The N fell over.
The N did
It's doing
fall
a
over.
handstand.
It's upside down. 4 mouths ago.
Maybe a mouth is a unit of time, like a score.
Right. It's been 4... Oh, no, see, it's months, we promise.
Maybe it just means the same thing.
Maybe. Maybe it's one of those quirky Victorian England deals. It's been 4 months now since we waved Susie off at Dover. It was such a shock, wasn't it? The way she just suddenly announced that she had to go back to Japan.
Indeed it was, due to a telegram she received from her homeland, I believe.
That's right. Telling her to return urgently.
Yes, because her father had passed away.
Shelms just killed people. No. It just said he was suffering from a high fever, the cause of which was unknown. He's not dead. But according to this letter, that news about her father's fever was just a ruse. A ruse? So Susie's daddy lied to her so that she'd make the voyage back home. Why would he do that? I have to admit, I have absolutely no idea. But she believes it's almost certainly related to the case of the haunted lodgings. Summoning her back to Japan so suddenly like that. I wonder what Miss Susato's father is hiding. This guy that you like trusted, and now it's like, what is he hiding? What is he hiding? Hurley, do you know what it's all about? Oh god, he's dressed. Cool.
Ah, well, who can say?
Are you just about to flee because you're being put on the spot, you weirdo? What? But you said...
Please, I have engagements, my dear fellow. My calendar is quite surprisingly full today.
He's literally running off without answering the question. This man sucks.
An astringent analysis of the matter would be excessive, I feel, even if I were quite at leisure.
You suck, Shells.
So, man the fort in my absence, won't you, Iris?
You're the worst. I will, Hurley. Don't worry. See you later. Worst.
And there we go.
Worst man ever. He scuttled off rather quickly there.
He's scuttly.
He did it. He just fled the scene. I think perhaps Professor Mikotoba isn't the only person hiding something here. Soseki-san was involved in 2 cases, but only one of them was forbidden from being published. By, of all people, Mr. Sholmes. Aha! I found them at last! Iris, are they... The notes about the case? That's right! Susie and I compiled them together. The case of the haunted lodgings. Do you want to read them, Bruno? Absolutely. Thank you, Iris.
Ooh, dramatic music.
I know, the music changed. I have no idea what secrets could still be hiding in the shadows of this case. But perhaps if I read over the notes again, something might come to light. That's the spirit! And that girl's got a gun. It's fine. And so, Iris and I decided to read over the case notes again together. Everything from what happened to our investigation and that fierce battle in court that followed. Reliving every detail. I just needed to find a clue, and I have all the time in the world. Because of course, I'm no longer allowed to practice law in the courts of Great Britain. Damn.
Ghost trick, phantom detective, sound effect, animation, noise, go! We're back.
We're back. It was 6 months ago, a mysterious incident that unfolded on the winter streets of London. Wow, that's bright. A young woman was found lying on the snowy pavement of Briar Road with a knife in her back. Fortunately, her life was spared, but she was unconscious for several days following the incident. The fog was thick and nobody saw her attack her, but by a cruel twist of fate, a visiting Japanese student was walking behind her at the time and was duly arrested. That man was Soseki-san, and the man who effected his arrest was Mr. Sholmes. Believing in our compatriot's innocence, Susato-san and I decided to represent Soseki-san in court. And after a grueling trial of many twists and turns, we finally managed to prove his innocence.
Joyful, joyous, jubilant, jubilation!
Oh god.
I gotta do his voice again.
I'm so sorry.
I'm suffering.
Was the man's reaction after the trial, but his jubilant jubilation was short-lived. We received a telegram from Mr. Sholmes the following morning. The victim of the Briar Road stabbing has regained consciousness. Hurry to Bart's at once. So Susato-san and I summoned a hansom and headed immediately to the hospital. "5:30 in the morning. Good grief. There's a mouse! There's a mouse.
So according to my math, this is like day 3 of Ryunosuke and Susato in Britain.
Oh.
Like day 3 or 4.
Oh.
Because like day 1 was case 3. I believe day 2 is case 4. There you are at last! Case 3. Or case 4. And then day 3, I think, is this.
Oh my god. Good morning, Mr. Sholmes.
I think not. I didn't even try to sound like Sholmes, though. I went for Spy from TF2. You're late! What on earth took you so long? It's 5:30 a.m.!
Right? Your telegram only arrived at 5 o'clock, Mr. Sholmes, and it's a 20-minute ride to the hospital.
So what were you doing for those 10 minutes?
That's right, and it's 5:30 now. I think we made very good time.
The time is utterly irrelevant. The fact is, I've been waiting for what has felt like an eternity. In point of fact, I myself was awoken at 4 this morning by telegram boy. And feeling it was somewhat unjust that I alone had been roused at such an hour, I sent one to you.
Damn. That's cold. Well, thanks for that.
Anyway, you're here now, so the victim is over there. She only just regained consciousness. There she is. You should introduce yourselves, and I shall observe from here.
Wow. So that's the lady who was found on the snow-covered pavement with the knife in her back. Her name is, yes, here we are, Miss Green. Let us examine this room. What is all of this over here? This rounded wooden figure isn't the most charming, is it? Hey, watch it. I don't think that's a decoration, Mr. Naruhodo. It's an artist's mannequin, I believe, used in practicing sketching the human form in different poses. Really? It's not exactly what you'd call a typical figure for that purpose, though, is it? No, I suppose not. I confess I've never seen one quite so full-figured before. Well, if you want to draw a full-figured person, it's the right tool for the job. I guess we can just talk to this rat. Eek! A mouse, Mr. Naruhodo! An enormous mouse! Vermin in a hospital? That doesn't seem the best. But it looks like a very healthy specimen, doesn't it? It's very plump. I'm not sure we can say that's down to the excellence of this facility, if that's what you were thinking. Just a fat rat on the floor. We got some cabinet up here. There are lots of bottles in that cabinet, aren't there? Do you think it's safe to keep them like that? Hee. If you were a patient here, I feel sure you'd take some medicine by mistake when you were half asleep. That is a worry, but at least the cabinet has a lock, even if it's only a flimsy-looking one. That is the loudest airplane I've ever heard.
I didn't hear it.
Oh my god, it was loud. Oh, I've no doubt you'd managed to unlock that somehow while you were half asleep as well. There are limits even to what I can do when I'm half asleep, you know, Miss Susato.
half asleep people are unstoppable.
That's true. I think this is all one thing. I think we... Wait. Portrait. Ah, look! There's a photograph in this frame here. Oh, yes! It's a picture of a young gentleman. He looks to be about the same age as Miss Green, I would say. Perhaps the young woman's special someone, do you think? My, Mr. Naruhodo. I didn't know you had a sense for matters of the heart. He doesn't. Not in the least. I sincerely said the first thing I thought of. Wow. Up chart. Ah, this looks like the patient's treatment notes. Let's see. Do not feed. What is this place? A zoo? You know, I seem to remember seeing an almost identical sign in our local park. For the pigeons, yes, this is a person. Poor woman. I hope she hasn't read this. Damn, what is with these people? They're crazy. Bag. Aha. That must be a bag of Miss Green's personal belongings. She would have been brought directly here after she was found stabbed on the pavement, though. I expect a friend or family member probably brought some things for her. All right, then, let's see what's inside. A change of clothes, no doubt, and... No, Mr. Naruhodo, you must never scrutinize a young maiden's personal belongings. But the young maiden might have chocolates, or biscuits, or caramel. Okay.
Enticing, possibly.
Okay, we're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. Talk to her. Good morning. Uh-oh. Hello. Those little green mints. I'm, Ryunosuke Naruhodo from the Empire of Japan. Oh no! Was it your knife that... Are you the man who... No. I'm a lawyer. And I'm Susato Mikotoba. Pleased to meet you. Oh no! Was it your knife then? Are you the one? No. I assure you. I'm Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant. We heard that you'd regained consciousness and wanted to come give you our best wishes. Best wishes? For me? Thank you? I'm Olive. Olive Green, what a name. I'm an artist. Well, no, that's not right, is it? What I mean is, I'm trying to be an artist. Well, what I really mean is, I desperately want to be an artist. But the truth is, I don't have any talent. I know I don't. So no wonder I was stabbed in the back. I don't think that's related, actually.
Could be.
Yeah, maybe. Gosh, this young woman seems to bend over backwards to put herself down. Seeing as we're here, we should ask her about what happened from her perspective, I suppose. About the incident. To suddenly be struck in the back by a blade as you were walking along the pavement. What a terrible experience you had, Miss Green. It was so cold that day, and the fog was so thick, I couldn't see a thing. That was 4 days ago now, I think. Is that right? Yes, that's right. I'm afraid you've been comatose all that time. But the case has been solved, haven't it? While I've been here in hospital, I mean.
Indeed it has, my dear madam. Spectacularly, by none other than I, Herlock Sholmes. Welcome to the conversation.
Yeah. Mr. Sholmes, as you well know, it was Mr. Naruhodo's hard-working court that solved the case. Are you yet to hear what happened, Miss Green? Yes, I'm afraid so. A gentleman from the police force is supposed to be coming to fill me in shortly. Oh, I see. Me coming round seems to have made everyone frantically busy. I'm so sorry. I should never have regained consciousness. It was selfish of me. Oh no! We're all so relieved that you're on the mend, Miss Green. Really, we are. With that kind of attitude, maybe her surname should be Blue, not Green. Okay. About your shelf. So, you're an artist, are you, Miss Green? Oh no! Oh, I couldn't possibly claim that. I'm a fledgling artist at best. I mean, I'm a student of art, really, at the Thorndyke Academy of Fine Arts. Oh my, an Academy of Fine Arts! Great Britain is such a wonderful country.
Tell me, Miss Green, do you live hereabouts?
Oh no, actually. I don't deserve it, but I have a little flat on Brixton Road.
I see. How very interesting.
Oh no, is it?
The brain cells back. Brixton is some 10 stops away on the underground from here. And Thorndyke Academy is a mere 3-minute walk from Brixton Town Center. Does that... Oh, sorry.
Does that matter, Mr. Sholmes?
Perhaps not, but Briar Road is a far less salubrious part of town by comparison, dwelt in by those of inferior means. Including
Maleficent?
including the maleficent Mr. Mustache.
That's some alliteration going on here. Inferior means. I suppose Soseki-san does fit the bill.
It struck me as somewhat out of the ordinary for a young fine arts student to be walking in such a district. That's all.
Quit browbeating the victim. What's this? She suddenly clammed up. Mr. Sholmes, you should be ashamed of yourself prying into a young maiden's private affairs.
Oh, dear me. Do forgive me.
Wow. If you don't mind. I'm being discharged shortly, so I need to pack up my things. Oh yes, of course. We won't keep you. Thank you so much, Miss Green. What's all that about?
Is there Mr. Narrowfodder here? Mr. Narrowfodder?
Narrow fodder now? Well, if you're looking for Naruhodo, the lawyer, that's me, but...
Ah, Mr. Narrowfodder, good. This is for you. It's a message from a Mr. Saucy Nutmeg.
Mr. Natsume sent me a message? Oh, sent a message to me. Correct English, sorry. But why would a policeman be delivering a message for Mr. Natsume? Exactly. What's going on? What's a Scotland Yard constable doing playing delivery boy at this time in the morning?
What are you waiting for? Let me see that.
Wow, Sholmes. Oh! Let me read it first, buddy.
Well, this is most unexpected.
Is something wrong, Mr. Sholmes? There's always something wrong with Sholmes. Don't ever underestimate him.
Is something wrong, Mr. Sholmes? He says. Have you not seen this note?
No, because you yanked it out of my hands, buddy. No, how could I have?
It would seem that London's criminals have no intention of letting this great detective rest. A new case calls. A case of murder, no less. We must depart at once.
Good grief, Sholmes! Murder?
Call a cab. Time is of the essence.
Oh my god. But the trouble is, we've yet to read Mr. Natsume's note. I was thinking we ought to pay him a visit in his lodgings once we did.
That will be entirely convenient.
Convenient? What do you mean?
It's all here in the note, my dear fellows. The murder we must investigate took place at Mr. Mustache's lodgings.
Wait, what? A what? Oh, hey, a what? What is that?
A fiacre. A
fiacre?
small carriage.
Okay, I guess we'll hail a fiacre at once. It was only yesterday that Soseki-san was in court, and we were dispelling doubts about his innocence. And now, the very next day, there's a murder at the man's own address. He may very well be the unluckiest man alive.
I think this is day 4, because day 2 was investigating the Natsume thing, not doing the case.
Yeah, there was like a day of investigating.
Yeah.
Or so it seemed to us at the time. But we were soon to discover it was worse than we thought. Oh dear.
No.
NPC death.
Yorick.
Damn.
We lost him.
What on earth? Oh my. The gentleman is deceased without question. He's dead.
Very astute observation. Look, astute Mr. Naruto Esquire.
Mr. Natsume.
Oh, why? Why is this happening? Why to me? I've only just got out of court yesterday! I was finally home after 2 days of misery! And then I wake up the next day to this! The wedding punch you catch a one like this!
Damn. That's rough, buddy.
Woeful worm without wiggle!
I'm so sorry, what?
Beyond wiggling. I see you in high spirits again this morning, Mr. Mustache.
Sholmes.
Not the horrible hairlock, Sholmes! Shut up! Show yourself the door! I never invited you!
Wigless. Mr. Sholmes came here with us. I'm quite sure he'll be able to help you, Mr. Natsume.
I'm entirely at your disposal, Mr. Mustache. What can I do for you?
Well, I must ask you a question. Oh God.
Hey!
Mr.
Here they are,
Natsume
all
shows
right.
himself.
The busybodies. I gotta remember how
No,
to do
the
his
body
voice.
is behind you, Gregson.
No, that was not busy.
Oh yeah, it's the dead body. A little different.
Ah, Inspector Gregson. What a pleasant surprise.
Is it?
Pleasant, is it? Gives me heartburn every time I see a face at a crime scene, Sholmes. I deduce, Inspector, that your heartburn is a result of your excessive consumption of fried food.
Damn. Good morning, Inspector.
This is a crime scene. Don't you go touching anything.
Or good morning to you too, Sunshine.
Well, here we are.
Let us examine. This is one Mr. Gregson here.
One of them.
One of them. It says mannequins. Oh no, it's still Gregson.
Boy, I said hands off. You're gonna mess up my crime scene.
Damn. Oh, no, I just wanted to look, that's all.
No chance. I know your kind. You'll mess it up just by looking at it.
Ugh, someone's in a bad mood.
You're gonna observe it and it's gonna cause a wave function collapse. There's certainly some bad air in here, isn't there?
Why is it funny, Sholmes? Alright, it sounds like I
Foreshadowing.
better talk to the inspector first and try to curry some favor. I guess we are Gregson-ing. Why is he being a biatch? Because he's having a terrible day. Like every day when you're Gregson.
He's found a corpse. That's gonna sour anyone's mood. And he does it for a job.
Right. So, Inspector, what was the victim's name? Who was he?
Mr. William Shamspeare.
I'm
He was a
sorry?
lodger here.
I'm sorry, Shamspeare?
William Shamspeare in the dead.
I am sorry?
As you can probably tell, he was an actor. A bit of a dead loss as it happens, or just dead.
Just dead. He's just dead. Mr. Shamspeare, don't act like you knew him, Susato.
It was the landlord, old Mr. Garadeb, and the other lodger, Mr. Natsume, who found him. The fellow didn't rise at his usual hour, so Garadeb got worried and kicked the door down.
But doesn't Mr. Garadeb have a bad leg?
Ah, yeah, you're right there. It was that jittery Japanese hunchback over there who actually did the kicking.
Really? Soseki-san?
He could do a good, sidekick. I believe him. The victim was pretty hard up, it seems. Even done some time inside for petty crimes.
Oh no.
Fun fact, his Japanese name is William Potenshi.
That's funny. That's a good translation then.
He had no money, no place to go, and no friends. His only acquaintances were the people in this house. Miserable life and a miserable end to it.
So, what exactly is Mr. Natsume still doing here? He's not involved in the investigation, so shouldn't you have sent him away from the crime scene? Don't put that in your pocket!
Well, I'm not saying it's because the fellow looks odd or anything, or that he acts suspicious.
Gregson!
But I thought it would be prudent to take a statement from the cohabiter.
You nearly said culprit there, didn't you? Oh dear. Mr. Natsume appears to be under suspicion again. It certainly seems that way. He does just come across as such an odd fellow, doesn't he? Poor man. How unfortunate.
Anyway, I can't say much until the coroner gets here.
Oh boy.
But I don't think the fella's been a goner that long. The body's still warm.
Whoa. Even if the inspector would allow it, I don't think I could bring myself to touch a dead body. Okay.
Well,
Don't think he's gonna let us do anything, so let's talk to... Oh god. What a terrible thing to have happened.
what a terrible night for a curse. It's only been 3 days since I was arrested for the incident on the pavement outside.
Quit killing people and you won't have this problem.
And then, having finally regained my freedom, it starts happening all over again. And it's some excruciating experiences.
So the victim lived here on the ground floor, and your room is just one story up, isn't it?
Yes, that's right. In a way, we were neighbors, I suppose.
So, did you know the victim? Were you friends? Uh-oh, where is this going? Where are these dots going? He's about to explode. We've lost him. What's the matter with Soseki-san now? It was an innocent enough question, wasn't it? Why does he seem so shaken by it?
Well, I suppose he wasn't a complete stranger. But did he ever invite me to his room? Never. On my honor, I swear it.
What an extreme reaction. You're probably wishing you'd never asked now, aren't you, Mr. Naruhodo?
When we found him here, I felt wretched, which is why I sent word asking you to come. Through that inspector over there!
Oh, God. He's climbing things again.
Mr. Naruhodo, check me out, I'm a statue!
No, you're scenery. You're a prop. You're a set piece on a stage.
I could get a job doing this, Mr. Naruhodo. I could just do cool poses and people would think I'm a statue.
Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing?
It's my new job.
No, it's not.
You need only observe to know it, my dear fellow. Investigating, naturally. This new career path.
There's nothing natural about that pose. Mr. Sholmes, have you made some miraculous discovery?
Patience, my dear madam, patience. We've not been here in this room for 5 minutes.
And yet...
So far, all I've managed to deduce is what actually happened.
I swear to God, this man. My goodness! But isn't that everything we need to know, Mr. Sholmes?
Now that you propose the idea, I believe one could indeed see it that way. At the present time, I have managed to draw 2 incontrovertible conclusions.
If one of them is that this man is dead, I'm leaving.
The first is that there was a physical struggle here last night in which the victim fought for his life.
The body's still warm, I don't get it.
Ah!
Ah! Mr. Natsume, what's wrong? Is something that Mr. Sholmes said significant somehow?
No, don't mind me. Forget I was here.
I can't, you screamed. You literally screamed.
And my second conclusion is that there was a poison lingering in the air here last night that passed the victim's lips.
Okay.
Nonsense!
Ah! Alright, Mr. Natsume. Why are you reacting so extremely to Mr. Sholmes' deductions?
No, please, pretend I'm not here.
But you're here.
Invisible, ineffable, inscrutable, insignificant. Impossible to ignore.
Impossible to ignore.
I wrote this.
You did. You must tell us everything, Mr. Sholmes. Spare no detail.
But of course.
God, here it goes.
Let the theatrical tragedy before us be unraveled by my great deductions, presented for your pleasure in 2 acts.
I can't. We've heard some truly astounding great deductions from Mr. Sholmes in the past. We haven't even investigated the room yet! No doubt this will be no exception. What miracles will unfold before our eyes this time?
So, my dear fellows, for your delight and wonder, let the curtain rise. For Herlock Sholmes, Logic and Reasoning Spectacular, Act 1.
I wish you wouldn't. I just wish you wouldn't. Oh god. The game is afoot. Here we go.
Here we go!
Get ready. Cause of death.
I just want to say that the great deductions were already cool in the last game. They've upped the budget on them.
Oh!
Careful observation of the victim reveals to us the events that transpired in this disconsolate room last night. Foam at the mouth of the deceased clearly indicates the use of poison.
Oh no.
Next to the victim, we notice a large dining plate which contains, you will observe, 1/2 of a sizable bar of soap. Meaningful? Indubitably.
He ate soap? Okay.
Why is this soap set so purposely upon the dish? Like the victim's last supper, in fact. Yes. Could it be that the man was about to eat it? Of course, the fork reveals the answer. It appears that the young man's appetite was his undoing. Picking up arms in the form of his cutlery, the victim engaged in a deadly battle for his life.
I'm sorry, what, Sholmes?
Yet the struggle against his hunger was in vain, for in the end he couldn't resist devouring the slippery feast. But London's foul soap is besmirched by foul poison. Yes, the victim's life was claimed by poison that tainted the contents of the plate. The soap and the lather about the young man's mouth are too perfectly matched to ignore. The cause of death was clearly intoxication due to excessive ingestion of foul soap.
Sure.
Though personally, I have a greater interest in the taste of foul candle wax, of course.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely, me too. Me too,
Sure.
Sholmes. Yeah. Conclusion! Poisoning from soap ingestion. Okay,
He
sure.
ate the soap!
Oh god. Topic 2, suicide or murder. Here we go.
What a topic. The cause of death identified, we proceed to Act 2, where we ponder the next question.
I can't ponder this.
Was this suicide or murder?
Oh god.
The audience will recall that death occurred during the victim's last supper. Did the man dine and die alone? This single teacup suggests the answer. To draw a conclusion on such meager evidence would be foolish, however. Certainly. The careful criminal could have absconded with his own cup to cover his tracks. At least he's being thorough.
Yeah, he's doing his best.
Well, allow me to lift the veil of doubt, my dear fella.
Oh no.
Indeed, what reveals the answer, of course, is the broken lock.
No, they kicked their way in. Come on, dude.
Though forced open now, at the time of the incident, this door was locked. And the sole key was in the victim's pocket.
Quit digging in his pockets. That's weird.
In other words, when the victim consumed the poison, he must have been alone. Alone with his inferior soap, from whence wafted an inferior scent. With that arid aroma lingering in the air, the victim met his end in tragic solitude. We can take comfort only in the fact that his soul was well cleansed on his way to the hereafter.
Oh my god, this man. Conclusion, no possible perpetrator present. Okay.
Yeah, okay, there's not a case we have to do. Thus concludes the final act of Herlock Sholmes' Great Deduction. If you'll recall, Case 2 of Game 1 was also not actually a trial.
You got a point. Shisato is just not having this. Gregson is also not having this. There's just one thing, Mr. Sholmes.
You are disposed to identifying just one thing, aren't you, Mr. Naruhodo? Right, what concerns you?
Where do I start? Well, no matter how hungry he was, do you really think the man would have eaten soap?
It is quite apparent that this man had barely a penny to his name. It is a curious thing, but to one so destitute, soap can suddenly appear quite irresistibly appetizing.
How extraordinary.
In truth, I have tried a little soap myself in the past.
Of course he has. You've eaten it, you mean?
My dear fellow, it was some time ago now. My postulation was that it would cleanse my gut.
And did it?
As I writhed in agony on the floor and spilled the contents of my stomach, yes, I believe it did. The experience taught me a valuable lesson. Soap is quite poisonous. It has an unpleasant taste and leads to great discomfort. In summary, I cannot recommend it.
Believe me, I wouldn't eat it even if you did. There's something that troubles me as well, actually. Oh, what's that? It's Mr. Natsume. This man. I couldn't help noticing him shuddering and quivering out of the corner of my eye. Almost as if Mr. Sholmes' deductions touched a nerve somehow.
Nonsense.
Well, that clenched teeth episode didn't last. I think, judging by Mr. Natsume's reaction, the great detective's deductions may need some gentle corrections in order to reach the actual truth.
No, Susato, please.
Yes, Mr. Sholmes' observations and deductions are sometimes a little too sharp. He has a tendency to hit the nail on the side of the head and drives it at an obtuse angle. When he does that, it falls to us to straighten things out. All right then, let's see what we can do. Yes, we must pick out the keywords in Mr. Sholmes' quite brilliant deductions. And discreetly exchange them for something that makes a little more sense. If we can do that, I'm sure we'll arrive at what Mr. Sholmes meant to say in the first place. Wow, Susato, wow.
So much faith.
So much.
In that case, are you ready for the second performance of the day?
Wow, at least he's acknowledging that he's wrong.
Once again, my dear fellows, for your continued delight and wonder, let the curtain rise. For Herlock Sholmes, Logic and Reasoning Spectacular, Act 1. We're back.
Course correction.
We're fourth.
All right, here we go. Living in fear.
Careful observation of the victim reveals to us the events that transpired in this disconsolate room last night. Foam at the mouth of the deceased clearly indicates the use of poison.
Okay.
Next to the victim, we notice a large dining plate, which contains, you will observe, one half of a sizable bar of soap. Meaningful? Indubitably. Why is the soap set so purposely upon the dish? Like the victim's last supper, in fact. Yes. Could it be that the man was about to eat it? Of course, the fork reveals the answer.
The fork! Alright. Well, you can't deny that a fork implies the man was eating something, or about to eat something. Yes, that's true. If I were to decide to eat some soap, I should prefer to use a fork than to attempt it with chopsticks.
Indeed.
Exactly. And of course, only half of the bar of soap is left on the plate. But might there not be some other explanation? Something material that proves whether or not the man really ate some soap. Let us examine. Remember, we can turn this, right? Yeah. Any bite marks or anything?
He lost his hat.
Oh yeah, his hat be on the floor. Oh, there's the other half of the bar of soap. Right there. Look, there's more soap on the floor here. Mr. Shamspear must really have loved the stuff. Let's not jump to conclusions, Mr. Naruhodo. Look closely at the soap. Do you see that it would fit together perfectly with the half bar on the table? What the? How can that be? I think that they are two halves of the same bar that broke apart. So, I suppose we know that much. Whoops, 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 teacup, fork. Anything else to see? He also has a teacup in his other hand. Just pointing that out. I think the bar of soap is what we need to present, the second half on the floor.
Yeah, because if we got 50% on the plate and 50% on the floor, that means 0% in his stomach.
Yeah.
Take that!
Take that.
The math. The math! It checks out.
Could it be that the man was about to eat it? Of course, the other piece of soap reveals the answer.
It being the other half of the soap on the table. In short, the victim was not eating soap at all. But it's obvious, really, for no depths of hunger could drive any man to attempt to eat soap.
The bombastic side eye here.
Even I, with my unquenchable thirst for practical knowledge, took only a single bite.
But that begs the question of how the man was poisoned, because there's no sign of any food on the table.
An excellent observation, Mr. Naruhodo, and one that furnishes us with the answer we seek.
I got this one.
For London's foul soap is besmirched by foul poison.
Okay.
Yes, the victim's life was claimed by poison that tainted the contents of the plate.
Mr. Sholmes is still pushing the soap argument then. Perhaps he's suggesting the man licked the soap rather than ate it. If soap in London is that poisonous, I don't think I want to be washing my hands with it. But there are no signs of any food in this room at all. Of course, food isn't the only thing that passes people's lips, is it? Alright, so what we've got is a cup here. A cup over in his hand that we can't see here. And a bit of a stain on the table. So there's the contents of the plate that is not the correct answer. There is a teacup here. What else can we see? Anything down below? Shoe, fork. We can't see his other hand, but he had a teacup in it. I could see it in the other. Yes, a Western vessel for the serving of infusions of dried tea leaves. It's a teacup, Mr. Naruhodo, as you well know. Stop putting on airs. And it's empty. Ah, so we've already established the victim wasn't eating soap when he died. However, there's significant evidence to suggest that he was drinking tea. My thoughts exactly. So it would be the contents of this teacup, because it's not letting me look at the stain on the table yet. So we shall present our teacup. Give take thated. Yes, the victim's life was claimed by poison that tainted the
Get
teacup.
taken.
Let's go.
Indeed. Cups have been the vessel of choice for practicing poisoners over the centuries. And it would appear that this victim drank every last drop.
There's no sign of food anywhere in the room. Wow. Miss wigging out.
Which lead us to the immutable conclusion. The cause of death was clearly intoxication due to the ingestion of poison contained in this teacup.
Poison the tea. Solved. Let's go. All right, moving on.
The cause of death identified, we proceed to Act 2, where we ponder the next question. Was this suicide or murder? The audience will recall that death occurred during the victim's Last Supper. Did the man dine and die alone? This single teacup suggests the answer.
Ah, the Western vessel for infused hot drinks again. It's already featured heavily in our deductions so far. Yes, we can imagine that shortly before his death, Mr. Shakespeare was having a drink of tea. There would be nothing remarkable about that. But what troubles me is Mr. Natsume's reaction when he heard Mr. Sholmes suggest it. There's more to this deduction than it seems. We must closely examine the scene of the crime again for some more clues. You mean this other teacup? Oh wait, the ad started. Damn.
Dun dun dun!
Damn.
Now the
Okay.
audience won't know the truth
The truth
for
of-
another 3-ish minutes.
behind the teacups. The truth behind
The truth.
teacup.
The truth to be determined.
Please stay tuned for the truth.
Coming soon on this stream.
The truth.
The truth.
Oh, I'm trying so hard not to cough right now. It's so difficult. Oh my god. Coughing is just the worst, and I don't recommend it for anyone, actually. I'm like sincerely super done with coughing. I've been doing it for like 6 weeks now. I'm over it, actually. Just a little bit over it. That's okay though. It's okay. I'll be okay. I'll make it. Make it out the other side of things. Minute and a half, minute and a half, minute and a half. Have you ever eaten soap?
No?
Really?
Why would I do that?
Because children are strange creatures.
That is true. That is a very true statement.
Yeah. Maybe I shouldn't talk about my childhood trauma on stream.
Especially not during an ad break.
I didn't eat it by choice. Let's just put it that way. It wasn't by choice that I ate soap.
You were yawning and a rogue soap landed in your mouth.
Yeah, rogue soap just found its way into my mouth. That's definitely what happened. Absolutely.
Shout outs to the
soap.
No, okay. Well, one, shout out to soap. It's a really cool technology
We love a little-
we have. It just works and it's
Little Dawn dish
wonderful.
soap.
But also, shout outs to the Festival of Bad Ad Hoc Hypotheses. For one of its lecture speakers stating that the invention of, like, the evolutionary predisposition for yawning is to capture swarms of bugs for calories.
That's the funniest thing I've ever heard.
Boffest is great. I very much enjoy it.
What?
It's basically...
Yeah, I was gonna ask, what is it?
Okay, so the basic premise is that
It's not even an ad break anymore, but I want to know.
It's a competition for, as the name would suggest, bad ad hoc hypotheses. Basically using scientific reasoning for constructing comedic, dumb conclusions. The initial, like, joke, I think webcomics that invented it, was about a lecture speaker explaining that babies are the way that they are so that they can be aerodynamic, being punted over long distances to spread the genes.
Oh
Good. And then it got turned into a real thing, and they're all hilarious and wonderful.
Holy moly.
That one about yawning's one of my favorites, along with a... There's one that's really good. Like, my absolute favorite. I can't remember it right now because I'm scrambling to form thoughts and sentences.
Oh no. Well, when it comes to you, just toss it out there. Alright, this man has a second teacup, so I think not, guys. I think we have the other teacup to give us some insight. It's another Western... It's a teacup! There we go. And it too is empty. Given that he's actually holding this one in his hand, we can assume that this is the cup from which Mr. Shamspear was actually drinking. But if that's the case, this changes everything. Everything we've deduced up till now is turned on its head. I have a bad feeling about this. I almost don't want to say it. Yes, I know exactly how you feel. Here we go. We present the teacup. Did the man dine and die alone? This other teacup suggests the answer. Yes, there were 2 teacups in this room all along. In other words, this is a strong indication that at the victim's Last Supper, there was a guest present.
I can tell by that silhouette that is Oscar Fairplay. Oh wait, was it Bruce Fairplay in English? I forget. At the very least, we can say now with certainty. Yes, Bruce. I gave him his wrong localized name. That somebody else was here in this room last night taking tea with the victim.
Over soap.
Over soap. What are you talking about? Oh, that's unbelievably justly unreasonable.
Well, we've reasoned it out, sir.
To draw a conclusion on such meager evidence would be foolish, however. Certainly.
In which case, what more can we deduce about this possible guest at the table?
Well, allow me to lift the veil of doubt, my dear fellow.
Oh no, we've lost him. He's about to go nuclear. Do you mean to say you know who exactly was in this room at the time of the victim's death?
Indeed. What reveals the answer, of course, is the broken lock.
I'm not sure I like where this deduction is going now. I'm afraid it's too late to go back to the halcyon days of eating too much soap. But the identity of the guest who was in here last night when the victim passed away is something I have a very bad feeling about. Well, you can try to ignore your feelings, but we cannot ignore the truth, Mr. Naruhodo. No, I suppose not. Time to look around again. Time to look around again. Okay, so what have we got around here? We've got like a candle. It's half burned. We've got the broken lock, which is not the answer. We've got an empty bottle. Got some books. And that's it. Okay, let's look at everything that we can see, because that's as far as we can go on either side. So it's either got to be the books, the bottle, or the candle. It's going to tell us something. What?
I've investigated. I'm scrolling through the list of all of the Bafest things ever.
Yes.
And I still do not recall which one I'm trying to remember, but I do recall another really good one, which I shall submit as my answer in lieu of me not wanting to be distracted doing two different things.
Okay.
It was Baby's Cry provides a combat advantage to people carrying them into battle because the loud, obnoxious crying makes you more irritated and anger and therefore like powers adrenaline more.
Oh my god. Please. Please. All right, here we go. At first glance, it seems that the only things in this room are the makeshift stage and the costumes. I overlooked these 3 books initially. I wonder what they are. Let's see. The titles read The Picture of Monsieur Lecoq, Canterbury Yearnings, and A Meal for Gaboriau. Okay.
Well, those sound familiar.
Wait, I'm sure I've heard those titles before. Yes, they do sound familiar. It could just be an incredible coincidence, but they're the exact same 3 books that Mr. Natsume purchased the other day. That is correct. Anna. What? Yes, on the day of the unfortunate incident when Miss Green was stabbed. Soseki-san had just been to a bookshop and bought them. That's right. And now those 3 titles are here in the room of the victim. Yet Mr. Natsume claims never to have been here before. What does this mean, do you think? I really don't know what to make of it. Okay. Pile of familiar books. Okay.
Ooh.
It has changed. Let's look at the bottle too, just in case. It's empty.
Nice.
Empty of liquid, but full of air. Wow, really? That makes you think, doesn't it? It makes me think that you're full of hot air. We should be thinking about who else was in the room at the time. Bother. Susato-san's quip and response was cleverer than my original riddle. Okay, obviously not that. And like, what is up with the candle anyway? Even Mr. Shamspear didn't eat candles, it seems. We've already established that he didn't eat soap either. Ah, do you think perhaps the guest brought this candle here last night? Even if he or she did, does it reveal anything about the guest's identity? Good point. There goes my idea. Snuffed out like that candle will be. If you sigh so deeply, Mr. Naruhodo, you're in danger of blowing out the flame. Alright, back over to the books. Let's present the books.
Take that!
Take that unfortunate thing that we have discovered.
What have we done?
Everything wrong.
We could have just stayed stupid.
Indeed! What reveals the answer, of course, is the pile of familiar books.
Quite so. It's no mere coincidence that these 3 titles are here in this room. It's the link to the truth.
You mean The Legend of Zelda? I'm fine. Oh. I got him. Mr. Natsume, you purchased these books 4 days ago at a secondhand bookshop.
That's just a coincidence. In that case, you will be able to bring the same 3 titles from your own room, will you not? this very moment. No, not negotiable.
If you can't bring your own copies here, it proves that these 3 books are in fact yours. He's about to explode, guys.
Here we go.
Having
Here we go.
Purchased
Here
the
we
books
go.
4 days ago and returned to your lodgings. You were arrested the very next day.
I love this part.
So you could conceivably have brought the books here on that evening, but you never mentioned that.
In other words, you could only have brought these 3 books here to the victim's room.
Oh my god.
Last night, having returned to your lodgings after the trial concluded at the Old Bailey.
Oh no.
In short, there's only one possible conclusion. The victim died here in his room last night as a result of poisoning.
And that same night, the victim had a visitor.
And that visitor... Three, two, one.
Was you, Mr.
Soseki
Soseki Natsume? We've lost him.
Thus concludes the final act of Erlock Sholm's great deduction.
We've lost him. Damn.
He's lost.
Damn. That's awkward. 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 Awkward.
Awkward.
I'm glad somebody thinks we're funny, even if that somebody is us.
That's like 2 people. It's more than usual.
Wait, I'm putting in here a timestamp. Timestamp. It's fine.
Not again. Not again. Not again.
He's fine.
Well then, Mr. Natsume.
Quit murdering people and you won't have this problem.
It would appear you're gonna have to accompany back to the yard. Again. But, wait! Hold your horses! Yes? Door! Key! Locks! Entry! Exit! Entirely impossible!
He's so flustered, he's being even stranger than normal.
What? You think that's an alibi? You could have just made a copy.
With the soap?
What? You live in the same building, after all. You'd have plenty of opportunity, I'm sure.
Where's the motive?
Sorry, sir. You'll get your chance to give your side of the story later. At least Gregson feels bad for this man.
Right?
The facts speak for themselves, Mr. Mustache. Oh, you horrible Erlock Sholmes.
He really has found himself an arch rival now, hasn't he?
Come on now, no dilly-dallying. Outside, there's a carriage waiting. Look at Mr. Naruto, Esquire! I never imagined I'd be in this position again, but
Uh-huh.
you have to help me! Please, I'm innocent!
All right, I understand. We'll come to your cell later and talk about it, damn.
And one more thing.
Oh, yes?
My poor little kitty cat. Please give him breakfast for me.
Aww. And so, his evil curse still apparently unbroken. So Seki-san found himself once again the prime suspect in a case of murder. Thanks to the incriminating deduction of the great detective.
You are most welcome. My dear fellow, that honor belongs to you.
Ouch!
I couldn't have done it without you.
Damn. Okay, get out. Get out, my dude, get out. Well, at least that means Inspector Gregson is no longer here. Now we can investigate. Yeah. We can examine the crime scene in more detail now. Yes, that's right. Ah, and of course... What? Have you forgotten what the inspector mentioned before? It was the landlord, Mr. Garadep, who discovered Mr. Shamspear. Ah, Mr. John Garadeb, yes. I expect we could find him in his sitting room on the top floor as usual. Right, we must remember to go and talk to him later then. Alright. We have precisely 34 minutes to examine this room.
Cool, let's examine this room.
Okay, we got some cobwebs. There's not much on these shelves, is there? Just this wine glass and bottle. And both of them are cracked. Yes, not much use, are they? What's the matter? Oh, I was just reminded of the Reaper, that's all. Grinding my teeth. Prosecutor Lord Van Zeeks? Yes, he's so reckless with his wine glasses. I was thinking it's a waste and that he should donate some to the needy. Donate a wine glass to a needy person. What are they gonna do with it?
Have a drink. Maybe they could hold it out for like coins to be put in instead of the hat.
I guess so. I mean,
It'd probably make like a
Victorian
satisfying
London
noise when you
on some
toss the
shit,
coin in.
So
Like someone
would make
gave
a
you a
good
coin and
noise.
then it would go like ding.
yeah.
That'd be good.
Why
That's
are we
the new
so
meta.
in sync today? What is going on? What the heck is going on? Oh my god, just ding. Okay. You can suggest it next time we meet. Yeah. Alright, so we've looked at the shelves. There's something on the floor. A piece of a note? What's this? It looks like part of an envelope, I think. Yes, I think you may be right. Perhaps it was torn off when the letter was opened. Is that significant? Well, it's a little out of place, perhaps. When you look around the room, there's no sign of a letter or the rest of the envelope, in fact, is there? Ah, she's right. And yet, here we have the torn off end of an envelope. It just strikes me as unusual. I agree. We'd better take this just in case. Oh, we're taking stuff from the crime scene. Let's go. Entered into the court record. Let's go.
Letterless in London.
Well, he's also lifeless in London. I don't know how to tell you this. Lifeless in London. That's like the worst, like, those like old like the missed connections things. Lifeless in London. We met on the subway. Our eyes met for 2 seconds and then you McFucking died. Awkward. Thanks for making my commute horrible. Anyway. Look at these extravagant bright costumes. Somehow they look out of place in this room with its grim, shady goings-on. This one looks like a king's attire. A king? I've always dreamt of being a king. Oh, I think it'd be more suited to a feudal lord, a daimyo or such like. With a chonmage top knot? Every Japanese man wishes he had a chonmage. Oh, you'd look wonderful with one, and you already have the sword. Can you imagine what would happen if I walked around the streets of London with a chonmage and a sword? That's what we get from looking at that? That's it? That's what we get? Here's the boarded up window again.
Looking boarded.
As we've seen from the outside, the window is completely bricked up. A vestige of the former window tax the Britons had to pay. What strange things they used to tax in Great Britain. I mean, making people pay for the number of windows they had in a property. It's extraordinary. It's heartbreaking to think of the poor having to block up their windows just to avoid an unaffordable tax. Oh! What is it, Miss Susato? If you look closely, a number of the bricks are loose. They are loose. I see them. What?
Green.
That's soap. Oh, yes. It looks as though an amateur has broken out a few of them just here. Was it Mr. Shamspear who did it, I wonder? Being the lodger renting this room. Ah, look at this, Mr. Naruhodo. On the outside, there's a little ledge. And there's something on it. What, outside? We'd be looking
I guess you gotta
again.
observe that secondhand.
I guess we need to go outside for a minute.
I think you just have to look at it again. There's no check mark.
Yeah, I saw there was no check mark. Okay. Brr, it's so cold outside. You can feel it through this gap. It did snow all last night. It would be cold. But more importantly, what is it on the ledge out there? What are those snow-covered lumps? What did I tell you? It's more bars of soap. Soap? What are bars of soap doing lined up on a ledge outside the window? Maybe he was eating soap. I have no idea. But the pair of them look rather charming like that. Still, that's very strange, isn't it? Bars of soap lined up outside the window? I think perhaps we should take one. There are two, after all. Oh dear. I suppose we could. Oh, what's this? Look here at the soap. Oh no, if it has an impression of a key in it, I'm gonna scream. Ah. Do you see? In the middle there. There's a patch that's a different color. It's sort of transparent, but some sort of fancy design, I suppose. Only in Great Britain. It looks like the Hinomaru flag of Japan, doesn't it? How wonderful. It's probably a very expensive brand. Expensive? Then what's it doing in this ramshackle old room?
They got fancy engraved soap.
Fancy soap. Fan soap, if you will. Okay, we have looked.
All right.
We must now look at
The corpse.
the corpse, yeah, because all this up here is no-go. Oh, we can look at the box here, but let's look at the corpse.
Yeah. Still a little corpse.
Oh, the poor man. So young to die. Do you suppose it was a very painful death, being poisoned as he was? I don't know. All we can do now is hope that he'll be reborn to a better life. Yes, I suppose you're right. I wonder. Do you think that putting our hands together in our Japanese prayer will help a British soul? Sorry? I made sure I had a reference at the ready for just such an occasion as this, actually. Wow. This book is entitled The Beginner's Guide to Praying for the Departed, the British Way. I'll just reread it now. One moment. There's quite a spine on that book, isn't there? Where does she keep all of these?
She's got the sleeves.
She's got like stuff in her sleeves. Okay, not the hat. Body's been looked at. Thing on wall.
Her sleeves are an extra dimensional space, and she can conjure up anything as long as it's a book.
You're right. Sleeves to another dimension. And here we have another disproportionately large machine. This looks like a meter of some kind. Ah, this is a gas meter, I think. It seems that in this district, residents pay for gas as they use it with coins. Ah, I see. Yes, and now you pointed it out. I can see that there's a slot just here that looks like it would take a coin. So you mean if you put a coin in here? That's right. That would buy you about 2 hours of gas for lights and heating. So if you were a poor person with no money, you'd have to sleep in the freezing cold. Yes, or if you were a scatterbrain with no change because you forgot to exchange your money at the bank. Thank goodness there's no meter in our office. Okay. Oh, a gas lamp. Wait, do you figure it's open? It's not lit. Okay, we'll get to that in a minute. I want to know what's going on with this gas lamp. This is a gas wall light, isn't it? It must be connected to a gas pipe in the wall. Gas lights, a gas stove. London really is a city of gas. But now that I think about it, Mr. and Mrs. Garadeb had an open fire on the top floor, didn't they? Oh yes, you're right. I don't recall seeing a gas stove up there. Well, I much prefer a real fire anyway. It's so much cozier. That's it? That's all we get out of that? Are you kidding me? Here's a box. This is some sort of makeshift stage, I think, isn't it? Well, I was getting the edge of the stage. Okay, cool. Where does the audience sit, though, for the nightly Shakespeare performances? Actors aspiring to the great stage must practice their art, Mr. Naruhodo, with or without an audience. In fact, on a related note, perhaps you should set up a mock bench for the defense in your office. What? Then you could practice your art every single day. I'm sorry, I'm just talking to myself, but you get a break. I'll think about it if you promise to don a beard and play the role of the judge.
That's a good role.
Well, if that would help you achieve your goal. This I have to see. Yep.
And this practice of being the judge would help with making Ryutaro later on.
Amazing. Perfect. Ideal,
Truly.
really. We've done looked. We've done looked.
We've done looked.
All right. I guess we go back. And we
Or
move. Huh?
we go forward.
do you mean?
Look for yourself.
And move?
Yeah.
Ah, new locations.
We've got target destinations.
That's what I was meaning by going back. Am I going back to that screen?
Oh, okay.
We're fine. We're fine. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. Do I really want to get in deep into this investigation? Let's go to the road first. We'll do a little inspecting out on the road.
Hey, we're at the road.
We're at the road. Okay, here's the door. The Garrideb household and Mr. Natsume's lodgings are in a prominent position there on the corner. Sometimes when I look at the building, I can't help feeling that it's at a bit of a slant. It does rather look as though it would collapse in even the smallest earthquake, doesn't it? And isn't it supposed to be haunted as well? I think I might have a hunch as to why Soseki-san has such a hunched back. Okay. There's a bike. There always seems to be a bicycle outside the Garrideb residence. I read that bicycles are extremely popular all over Great Britain at the moment, in fact. That one seems very warped, though. Especially the front wheel. Is that to make it more of a challenge to ride, do you think? No. I'm afraid that may be a result of the rider's incompetence. For the front wheel to be so badly warped, I'm afraid the rider may have been similarly afflicted. Then there's a good chance Mr. Natsume has been practicing on this bicycle, I think. Oh dear. I fear you may be right. There's all that stuff down there, but what we want to see is the window here.
The soap.
The Zope. With the exception of the top floor where Mr. and Mrs. Garrideb live, all the windows are bricked up. Yes, that's because of an old window tax that was charged on the number of windows a property had. In order to pay less tax, the poorer members of society filled in many of their windows. But the tax has since been abolished, hasn't it? So the windows could all be opened up again, surely. Unfortunately, it would appear that the residents of this district can't afford to pay to have the work done. Yes, that is a sad state of affairs. Especially for people like poor Mr. Natsume, who have to live all cooped up in a windowless room. I suppose that's the price you pay for living in very cheap accommodation. It all seems rather pointless when you put it like that. We didn't look at the soap.
Well, that concludes the road.
No, we got stuff over here. London's
Just
blanketed
London.
in fog again. London's blanketed in fog again today, and the sky is covered in cloud, as usual. But if you look carefully in the distance, you can just make out the Crystal Tower being built. Ah, the Crystal Tower, yes! The centerpiece of the great exhibitions to open in 6 months' time. Everyone's talking about the Great Exhibition of London at the moment, it seems. Well, it's to be the largest event of its kind anywhere in the world, with technology and scientists from all over. I can't wait for it myself. Do you think visiting students from the Far East like us will be granted entry? The last great exhibition that was held in London had more than 6 million visitors, it seems. And this time, the British are determined to make it an even bigger success to outdo the Paris exposition. I see. That's an incredible number of people. And with so many people expected to attend, we should easily be able to slip in unnoticed. Wow. There's always the honest approach of buying tickets at the main entrance, Mr. Naruhodo. Now we have concluded our tour of jolly London, except for this part over here. Yes, the snowman. Why has somebody built this snowman on some sort of pedestal, do you think? That's not a pedestal, Mr. Naruhodo. That's part of the snowman's body. Really? But it already has a perfectly good body. Well, it's true that British snowmen are usually made with 2 balls of snow. Perhaps this is a foreigner. And now we're looking at him as if he's strange. Poor man, I know how he feels. If anything, it's Japanese and British 2-ball snowmen that are the strange ones, isn't it? After all, real people do have 3 sections: head, torso, and legs. Do you ever think that perhaps you think about things too much? Wow. Anything else to see over here? No. Got nothing. We got nothing. We got nothing. We are done. We are done. Okay.
We did it. We solved the street.
We solved the street. Oh god, but if we go to the Gyarados room, we have to talk to the Gyarados. Ugh. We may stop in the middle of the Gyarados household. I can't stay up very late today.
Why not?
Why not? Because I gotta sleep!
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Here we are again. The eccentric landlord's eccentric top floor abode.
Oh, I forgot to remember his voice. Probably, maybe, if he's here.
We're here because Mr. Gyarados, the one who discovered the incident this morning. Don't forget. There he is, Mr. Moon himself.
You chaps, eh?
Yes, good morning, sir.
Thank you for your cooperation in court yesterday.
I don't think you mean that. It was quite a trial. As much for Mr. Gyarados as anyone, really.
Came straight back here after all that business at the Bailey yesterday. Didn't expect to wake up to more ballet nonsense this morning.
I wonder if you wouldn't mind telling us exactly what happened, Mr. Gyarados.
Yes, I suppose you'd like to know all about that dead loss of an actor chap in the ground floor room.
Damn! Those were exactly Inspector Gregson's words, weren't they?
He stands! He's standing.
He is standing. Could just examine the room a little bit. Again, for the 50th time. That's your military uniform, isn't it, Mr. Gyarados?
Well, ceremonial garb, yes. Hanging on the wall ever since my retirement bench. Non-active service now, you know. Doesn't mean much to me anymore. You could have the old thing if you wanted it.
Well, it might suit Lord Van Zeeks, perhaps. Girl, you think about him too much. You think about him too much. Good for you. An overly ostentatious outfit like this could be just what he needs. Very tactful, Miss Susato. Very tactful indeed. Things on the mantle. Ah yes, those enormous mortar shells. It's quite something seeing them up close, isn't it? Didn't you say something about firing them into the barracks, Mr. Gyarados?
Ah, you remember, do ya? Just a little mishap that occurred during training one day. What are you doing firing on your own men? The captain bellowed at me.
I'm not surprised. A little mishap doesn't really do it justice, does it?
Well, one has these little incidents when one's a hot-headed young private.
Do you? Perhaps I should put some evidence that resulted from one of my little mishaps on display. Oh, does the great lawyer, like the great detective, want to exhibit some trophies of his finest moments? Susato's making fun of me. That's so rude. Good to see Mr. Garrideb's Medal of Honor still proudly displayed on the wall. The inscription reads, "For distinguished participation," if you remember. Yes, I remember. Because I remember thinking even I might stand a chance of picking up honors like that. Thank you for the stretch, Finn. Thank you.
I don't know what to look. Oh, did you stretch?
I stretch. You can talk.
You did it. You stretched.
I did it.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Wouldn't know what to look at me now, perhaps, but I had my devil-may-care days, you know?
Devil may care? What did you get up to? Wow. 1,000-yard stare. Cool.
Well, all in the past now, of course, and best left there.
Best not! I want to know now. You two accepted.
Okay, fine. I'll stretch.
Do a stretch.
You take.
Big
Yeah.
stretchies. You look very dashing in your uniform there, Mr. Garrideb.
Oh, that old portrait, eh? Drawn by an art student who used to rent the room downstairs.
Oh, you look so wonderfully young and courageous and strong.
Yes, well, the chap presented it to me one day and asked if I'd let him off the month's rent in return.
Oh, I see. So you did, presumably.
And Ballywell did not.
Oh,
Portrait is a portrait, but rent is rent, eh?
and yet it's still there proudly on the wall. Got the screen still.
I get this distinct impression that I'm not doing his voice correctly, or at least consistently from last time, but I can't imagine how I can contort my sounds to make it more grizzledy than I remember it being.
Yeah,
Oh well.
it's okay. No one's judging you. There's a
As long as he
single...
doesn't go to Japan and be in the same room as second Professor Mikotoba, I don't think we'll have a problem.
Yeah, that's true. There's only so much you can do, really, at the end of the day.
Much I can do.
I mean, there's only so much any of us can do.
There's only so many mennies in a men.
It's true.
Yeah.
There's a single apron drying on that enormous cannon-shaped clothes horse. Look! No, Mr. Naruhodo, that's a real cannon. I knew that. I was just testing you.
Piece of history, that is. Seen plenty of action on the battlefield, I can tell you.
What, the apron or the cannon?
Could be either.
Could be either.
Now the old girl and I are just enjoying the peace and quiet of retirement together.
Wow, it really could be either.
And of course, she'd come in handy if the enemy decided to launch an attack again.
Is there a war going on that I don't know about?
Maybe.
Maybe. I think we've seen everything on this. No, there's books. Oh, a copy of Ransom magazine. The Adventures of Herlock Sholmes is being read all over London. Isn't it wonderful?
Naturally, one asks oneself if such a singular detective could really exist. But having met the chap, it's undeniable. He's most certainly singular.
That's about what you can say, yep.
Singularly dangerous.
That's genuine public opinion for you, Miss Susato. Perhaps it should be reflected in the stories? Make no mistake, Mr. Naruhodo. I intend to snuff out the sort of public opinion we just heard personally. I'm starting to see where Mr. Sholmes' untainted reputation comes from now. All of his fangirls. It's the fangirls. Okay, we zoom over here. We pan over here. We got the screen, we got the window, we got all the broken dishes still. It's only been a couple days. Wow, there's still food out? Put the food up! Alright, we finish examining, and before we actually talk to him, I am going to call it quits, but we're gonna finish examining the room! We know what that screen is hiding now. The aftermath of the fiery altercation the other day.
I suppose I'll be able to clear that mess up for some time now.
Oh dear. This must be a very difficult situation for you.
I'll say. They'll talk about twists of fate and whatnot. This is a twist and a half. A run show all around.
He's clearly struggling with everything that's happened. Kinda our fault, huh? Oops. There's a good view over the wintry East End from up here. It's an oppressively gray scene. There's really nothing comparable in Japan. And down below, Briar Road, partly blanketed in snow. And the pavement where poor Miss Green was struck in the back by that knife. Thinking about it, this is the only room in this building that actually has a window to the outside world. Sometimes Great Britain really does seem like a strange land, doesn't it? I suppose all foreign cultures seem strange at first. Imagine how an Englishman would feel on arriving in Japan and seeing people with a chonmage top knot. Wow, you're just on about that. Well, that's a good point. Table. That's an impressive collection of cakes on that fancy silver cake stand there. I feel sure that it was full of cakes when we first investigated in here as well.
Yes, quite right. Haven't touched it since.
Ew!
It's only been a day.
That's true.
Haven't done much at all, really, since it all happened. Time's rather stood still for me, you know?
Oh. Time has stood still? Now that's an interesting phrase. I might be able to use that excuse when I'm next supposed to be tidying the office. Wow. You could just tidy up, Mr. Naruhodo. We're thinking out loud again. We've done it. We've thought out loud again.
Woo!
These shelves look like they've been completely torn apart by a wild beast.
Reminds me of the Battle of Maiwan, don't you know?
Ah, the experiences of a seasoned veteran.
And we had us surrounded on all sides. We really thought we were done for. The whole ballet company. We were taking a real pounding from the cannon, so all we could do was run for our lives.
Oh, I thought that story was going in a different direction, actually.
Well, the whole experience taught me one thing, I can tell you. When you're done for, you're really done for.
Ugh. This is not what a lawyer who often finds himself under fire wants to hear. And that should be the whole everything in the room. Whee! Okay. Cool. We've done that. We can go back. So the only thing left to do is talk to him.
Dare you or daren't you?
I don't know if I dare or do not dare. I do not know. I don't think I dare. I think I'm too darn tired. Let's go save.
This is gonna complicate my structuring of timing
I'm sorry.
because we're not in like a solid to be continued block, but
Yeah, we're not gonna
gotta
make it that
do
far.
what you gotta do.
We're not gonna make it that far. I gotta sleep.
That's okay.
Okay. But we will stop there. We will pick up with the investigation next time and we will see how far we can get. Hopefully I will not have to go to bed as early next week. Who knows? Who knows with me? Goodness knows. But yeah. That's all the excitement I've got. Very exciting indeed.
Yeah.
I like this game. It's fun. It's fun.
It's a good game.
It's a good game.
Sometimes.
Yeah. All right. We will see you guys next time then. I will be back. I was going to stream tomorrow, but I think I'm going to move that stream to next week so y'all don't like miss me too much, just because I gotta rest my voice for the rest of the week. So that in mind, everybody take care. Hopefully I'll be back on Monday, if not sooner. But yeah, thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I know I was a little like low-key today, but that's just because I'm a little sleepy. I'm a little sleepy. Don't tell me it's about to be an ad break. I know it's about to be an ad break. Leave me alone.
I got a few minutes.
All right, but we will head out and then I will raid over to somebody in the end screen. So anybody got anything exciting? Going once, going twice?
I mean, I can have an exciting.
You got an exciting? What's the exciting?
I could have an exciting. I don't have an exciting.
Oh, that's too bad.
I'm just back in the loop, the business as usual. I'm doing a good
Yeah.
job at it.
Yay! We love to see it. Everybody check out Exception, please, please, or I'll fight you in the pit.
You're not gonna
Exception.
stream tomorrow. I'll stream tomorrow.
Tell Exception he's cool,
Oh,
or else, or I'll fight you
in the pit.
in the pit. All right, but I'm gonna go jump in the pit and sleep. So everybody have a wonderful, wonderful night. And I promise next time I will not be on Wi-Fi for the first like 3 minutes of my stream. Cool. Yep. All right, I'm out of here. Bye, everybody. Good night.
Bye. Farewell.